So hey everyone, Danica here. So for study tips today, I'm going to run you through 7 good study habits / tips that you can do while studying at home. Now some of these are pretty standard, but some you may not know or haven't heard of before, and you might want to give them a try. Tip number 1. Before you go to bed, keep your textbooks and notes out on your desk ready for you to go when you wake up in the morning. This just makes it harder to ignore, and it also removes the obstacle of having to set up your study space each time. So it's almost a way to trick your brain into doing your work sooner. Tip number 2. Give yourself treats. Now we have said this in other videos previously, so that's just giving yourself little rewards throughout your studying to help keep you motivated. Tip number 3. Take breaks. Again, we have said this previously in other videos, but taking breaks is the best way to recharge, especially if you've been studying for a long period of time, and it can also help you get a new look at your work if you're struggling. Your breaks don't have to be long, they can literally be only 5 minutes if you need to, enough for you to stand up, go outside for 5 minutes, stand in the sun and just breathe. Or if you want to take a longer break, you can go for a walk. Tip number 4. Don't compare your marks with your peers. If it is a subject or unit that you really struggle with, it's okay to just get a pass. If you get really good marks, that's great too, but a pass is okay. This is a good thing to keep in mind if you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, because let's be honest, in some cases, teachers and parents do that enough. And it's a good thing to remember that your marks in high school, whether that be VC or VCAL, do not determine how smart you are. Tip number 5. Set realistic and achievable goals. Now this kind of relates to tip 4, in that it is good to aim high, but at the same time, don't aim too high that you're going to get super stressed over it and put a lot of pressure on yourself. So again, it's good to aim high, but make sure it is within your own capabilities. Tip number 6. After a while, try switching up your study space. Whether that be your organisation system or the location of where you are studying. Sometimes being in the same space too long, you can get into a bit of a funk, so switching it up can help. And finally, tip number 7. Start the most difficult assessment first. Now a lot of people like to procrastinate, I know I do, and generally if it is something that's going to take the most time or effort, you might leave that till last and get the easier jobs done first. By doing that, you can potentially stress yourself out more, because in leaving it to the last minute, you might rush through it and not be able to take the time to do it well. And by getting the most difficult assessment done first, you can get that one out of the way and focus on your other assessments that you know you'll be able to do well in. If you haven't done any of these, give them a go, and I'll see you next time.